The new captain for RCB is Rajat Patidar.
I'd like to start by congratulating Rajat on his appointment and welcoming him to a very elite group of high caliber leaders. We're all behind you. We're sure you're going to do a great job. We're sure you're going to lead in a really outstanding way. And the fans, all the players, all the support staff, we're behind you and we're excited about what lies ahead.
Big Basket Now presents RCB Bold Diaries.
Something that we've thought about quite a lot. In Rajat's particular case, I actually remember going back to almost a year ago. He and I were sat at a training session in 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 and I was curious about his leadership aspirations and his own captaincy aspirations, and I remember asking him if he had captained much and whether he wanted to. And even back then he said he wanted to captain, and we talked about him potentially captaining his state side this coming season. And he said he was going to try and take on that opportunity, which he then did. So I suppose, first planting the seed almost a year ago in his particular case. But we almost at that stage didn't know that we were going to get to where we've got to now. It was just an idea, an option. Between then, a lot has happened. We obviously made a very difficult decision to move on from 𝗃𝗃. Everyone at the franchise knows how big a person 𝗃𝗃 was for our environment as player and captain. Incredibly grateful for everything he did for RCB. But it was a big and difficult call to move on from him. We observed Rajat really closely during the 𝗁𝗵 phase and the 𝗰𝗽𝗁 when he captained his team there. It was really good getting a chance to watch him captain, to see that it had no negative impact on his batting. In fact, the opposite. He batted beautifully as captain in that tournament and in those pressure moments. So it was good to see that it was something that he coped with well. We watched him in the field and saw his personality come across quite strongly still, so it looked like he was doing a good job. And then we spent some time talking to him, obviously asking him whether he wanted to captain, almost an interview of sorts. We even took input from other people, input from someone like 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, who's obviously a critical part of our support staff now, and obviously speaking to Virat too and getting his input and his advice. And resoundingly across the likes of myself, Andy, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, Virat, we all thought that it was a really good time for Rajat to get this opportunity, that he's earned this opportunity, and that he'll be in a good place to lead RCB through this next phase. And we're all here to help him. So we were really keen on somebody that the fans were going to be familiar with, actually. So we wanted an Indian captain. That was quite an important factor for us. And we wanted someone that had probably been at the franchise for a little while. Someone that had proven that they can do the business on the field for RCB. There's already a lot of love that Rajat gets from the fans, so that's pleasing and obviously really encouraging. So that was important. And then on top of that, I think Rajat's personality is probably one of the biggest reasons.
Rajat, I believe in the qualities that he possesses that will stand him in good stead as a leader for RCB. Number one, he's quite a calm, relaxed young guy. You see that in the way that he bats and fields. And I think that calmness and a naturally relaxed state will help him make good decisions out there in the middle in the heat of battle. We watched him closely when he captained Madhya Pradesh and his state side in the recent 𝗁𝗵𝗁𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 trophy and captained them to the final. And we scouted him and we really liked what we saw in the way that he captained his state side. We did a little bit of digging via his state coach and a few players that worked with him. And we got some really good positive feedback about his captaincy. Rajat also has, even though he comes across as a gentle, relaxed young man, he's got a certain stubbornness and a bit of steel about him that I think you need as a leader and a captain, particularly in the hurly-burly world of IPL cricket. I think he's a likable young man, which will help him lead a group of men. In our case, a nice mixture of experienced and younger players, and take this young group on a journey, along with the help that he'll get from us in the support staff around his leadership. I think he can take that group on a journey and take that group of young men with him. He's a guy that other people will follow. I believe those qualities, that aggression, that attacking intent will come through in his leadership and his tactical decision making. And I'm very, very excited to be working with him for the good of RCB and all its supporters.
The biggest thing about Rajat, and we see this a lot in his performances, is he's very brave under pressure. He's brave in those critical moments when the team have got the game on the line, and he's the person that often throws the counter punches and puts the pressure back on the opposition. And that's how we want to play as a team. So for Andy and I, we saw a real fit between how he plays and how he will hopefully be leading. And that's what I want the fans to get excited about. And you know, we're confident that will stand us in good stead going through this competition and into the real business end of a competition when the pressure really comes on. Having that brave captain leading it is something that we can all get excited about, and I hope the fans are excited too.
Big Basket Now presents RCB Bold Diaries.